All right, so tell me if this sounds familiar. The CEO sends out a brilliant strategic memo, 3 clear priorities for the quarter. The leadership team gets it, everybody nods, the vision is crystal clear. But 6 months later, nothing meaningful is shipped, and nobody can explain why. Now, this isn't exactly bad strategy, and it's certainly not lazy teams, but it is the missing middle, the gap between vision and delivery, and that is impairing your execution. Now, most companies are fantastic at 2 things, setting lofty visions and cranking out tasks. But they're absolutely terrible at the part in between, which is turning the strategic goals into executable plans with real accountability. And here's what actually happens. Leadership says, improve customer retention. Product thinks that means better features. And engineering assumes that it's about technical debt. And the customer success team thinks it's about support processes. And everybody starts working. Everyone's busy. But they're building toward completely different outcomes. And largely because nobody bothered to translate the strategy into a coordinated action. So the missing piece is not clearer communication or more strategy sessions, but it's a systematic approach to execution planning that forces clarity before the work begins. Now, I've watched brilliant teams with clear priorities still fail miserably when it comes to delivery. And the pattern is almost always the same. They skip the unglamorous work of structured planning and they jump straight into doing stuff. And the scope stays fuzzy because everybody knows what we're trying to achieve. Success criteria remain implicit because the goals seem obvious. Ownership gets distributed because collaboration matters. Timelines stay flexible because agility is important. Each of these instincts sounds reasonable, but together they create this execution quicksand. And so what do you actually do? Well, this is what I want to talk about here. This is the roadmap to bridge this gap. So let's actually go over here and walk through it. Step 1, introduce a standard execution planning template. Every single initiative, every product feature, every operational improvement, every strategic project, everyone gets the same questions before it gets resources. What exactly are we building? Who owns the outcome? How will we measure success? And what is the realistic timeline? This template is your forcing function. You literally cannot complete it without getting specific about scope, ownership, and metrics. So make it part of your kickoff ritual, not some optional thing that you do for homework. Step 2, create a plan to launch checklist. Think quality gates for execution readiness. Has this been properly chartered with clear goals? Is the scope defined and agreed? Are team members actually assigned and available? Have key milestones been identified? Every initiative moves through the same gates: charter, scope, team assignment, milestone planning. Keep this consistent whether you're building features or fixing operations. Same foundation, even if there's different execution. Step 3, train your teams on translation skills. Most people can't break down strategic goals into actionable work because nobody taught them how. This is a learnable skill, but it requires some practice. Show concrete examples of how objectives become plans, of how plans become work streams. Run working sessions where teams practice together. Take an initiative and work through it. What are the components? What happens first? Who owns each piece? This collaborative approach builds capability while ensuring that everybody is aligned on the breakdown. Step 4, set review cadences for early planning. Before any initiative goes into full execution, schedule a short planning review. This pressure tests clarity, feasibility, and alignment. And ask the hard questions. Is this scope realistic given the timeline? Are these success metrics actually measurable? Does the team have the resources that they need? And can we deliver this without wrecking other priorities? Surface problems while they're cheap to fix, not months into execution when course correcting costs a fortune. And then step 5, make strategy to execution flow visible. Create a simple visual map that shows how each strategic priority connects to active projects. This could be a spreadsheet, it could be a dashboard, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's accessible and updated regularly. The goal is to prevent things from falling through the cracks. Every strategic priority should have clear initiatives that drive it forward. Every active initiative should tie back to strategy. When you can see these connections, the gaps become obvious immediately. And when you get this right, execution becomes predictable instead of heroic. Teams know what they're building and they know why. Leaders can track progress without constant interrogation. And then resources get allocated based on clear priorities, not just whoever is shouting the loudest. Most importantly, you create space for actual strategic thinking instead of firefighting execution chaos. The bridge between vision and delivery is not built with just inspiration and enthusiasm. It's built with structure and clarity and disciplined thinking. Your strategy is far too important to leave it to wishful thinking. So build the system that can actually deliver on it.